What's the current color of the canopy? What's the current color of the canopy? Green? All green, yeah, okay.
I think you show up to show colors. You can't get a real sense from the picture.
Right, I'm assuming it's red and green.
Yeah. Because the description says, as in the picture.
Do we know if it's already been installed as such?
I don't think it has.
I thought it was listed on the all samples and stuff like that. They don't have to, right?
Yeah.
It's not right.
Okay, we're good to start. Let's call this meeting to order.
Larson,
Here.
Yarbo, Arnold, Harness, Ring.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum, so we'll continue on. Citizens' time. Anybody out there want to speak about anything off the top of their head? With this full audience we have. Now, you can speak towards your COA when we address it. So, unless you
Yeah, it's probably the easiest way to do it. And are
Yeah.
you...
First time I've
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we'll move on to minute approval.
I make a motion to approve the ARB minutes from Wednesday, May 21st, 2014.
Got a motion?
Second.
Second. Motion and second. Okay, it's open for discussion. Anybody have any errors to report on it or anything? Okay, so I guess we'll vote on it. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstains? Nope. Okay. So now we'll move on to the certificate of appropriateness.
I make a motion to approve permit ZP 2014-0616 at 14600 Washington Street.
Got a motion and a second. Open for discussion. Okay. Just you.
Hi,
You're the man.
Oh, Ralph, where's the shorts? There you go.
We're discussing the portico at this time.
Okay.
Do you have any comments?
No, just we worked with them to get the paperwork in order.
Okay. Now, I don't know how far this is going to go into being finished. Is it going to be enclosed, or are you just going to leave it open with the pillars and just have the roof on
We
it?
just have a roof on it, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the stain, I didn't get a color of the stain. Are you just
It'd just be a natural darker wood stain, yeah. Just varnish.
Yeah, brown semi-transparent. It's
Okay.
what it says. So it's going to be a darker.
Yeah. Okay, John Farm called me up and gave his regrets for not being in here. The only real comments he had is questioning whether it was going to be finished. He would have liked to have seen a shed dormer, I guess, like a watershed with the architecture of the building. But I told him it's already halfway built. We want to look at it and see if there's anything really detracting to the architecture. But just wanted to make sure that
Okay,
I put his
comments
concerns
out
on
there.
record. Okay. Just to get a full picture, you got the roof, and then you got whatever the support, the eave or whatever you would call that piece. Is that going to be closed in? I mean, is the roof going to be like completely closed in, and then the pillars are what's going to stay open?
No, just the roof part, yes, sir.
Okay, so we're not just going to have a roof and then have this support beam and then have this.
That was going to be open. That was the plan.
That's going to be open. Okay, just want to clarify everything, make sure we don't miss anything.
there's going to be no signage or anything on it. This is mostly just a rain cover kind of.
Yes, sir.
Good. And the roof doesn't overhang any on it. It's pretty much going to be flush with
Yeah,
the
there's about 2-inch overhang on it.
Yeah, you can see a small one there.
Yeah, but nothing like the standard, foot to
No,
to
no.
2 feet of an eave on it. Anybody have any questions? Okay, then I guess we'll put it up for a vote. All in favor of approving this COA, say aye.
Aye.
No opposed, so we should be good to go with that. We're good, no questions needed. Thanks for showing up, though. It always makes it easier if we do have questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it.
Danny, might as well say.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and get the pro forma out of the way. I make a motion to approve ZP 2014-0612 at 15401 Cap Valley Way, Pickle Box, Canopy.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. It's up for discussion.
Humphreys is on his way,
Do we have?
but he'll be here in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He's
now you-
outside.
And you've been working with him, right, Marshawn?
I have. There's a. This is the canopy or the sign?
This is Canopy.
The canopy.
What line? The
Sign will be coming later, I guess, right? I thought the canopy, at least the
You're
original
not gonna be
design,
here.
was to have it yellow and purple, the colors of the Pickle Bob sign. I guess that changed?
The canopy that was installed or replaced was just a solid green.
Right.
And so, since he's bought the property, he's wanting to incorporate the pink stripe into it.
Pink.
It's pink and green. It's alternating pink and green.
So this is not a. Wow, that's pink. The green's going to be brighter too, which is nice.
That is pink, right?
And
Or like a darker pink?
It's a darker pink, kind of a red, yeah.
Mine's a little different. You got it, it's your
Almost the color of Ken's shirt.
Okay, that's quite the suggestion. I'm sure you learned something that was outside of the town colors.
Should have worn my other shorts. I could have had the green to represent the other portion, too.
Do we want to table this until?
Until
Until
it
it's
gets here. Yeah, let's table it and let's move on to,
I mean, really, it's your discretion. It's simply a replacement of what's out there today. The previous one, actually, the building's been there for some time, so it's starting to get tore up. So he was just trying to replace the existing canopy.
Spruce it up.
I understand that the need for the new canopy concern is the color.
yeah. I mean, it's not unusual. I mean, if you look at Effie's and you look at the place down in Waterloo, off of Route 17.
We're trying to work with all those property owners. Most of them, all the signage they have on 15 is in the right of way, and it's going to be taken out with the interchange improvements. So, actually, Danny's sign on the corner is in the right of way. And then all of them are starting to use these flags, which they're not supposed to have. So, I've been trying to work with Mr. Lombardozzi, the building owner, and the Rhodes family to come up with some sort of single sign for the complex. Not list all the other tenants, but just say like the Haymarket Industrial Park. So when people direct them there, say, look for the big sign that says Haymarket Industrial Park. And then with, so these guys trying to do some alternate colors and just trying to get the passersby attention. They already told me we can't have all the lollipop signs right away with what you call it. So.
Thank you, Danny.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah.
I'm Danny Humphreys. Thank you. Yes, sir.
We've already brought you up. We've opened the motion, so if you want to, we're ready. We've done all the pro forma stuff.
Where at?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
We're here. We're here.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
So, I think initially, last month, when we were trying to bring something up, we were looking at purple and yellow, so the colors changed to red and
Pink and green.
pink, pink and green.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, right now, presently, it's just old and tattered and torn up.
Yeah.
So, It needs replaced however you look at it. So what I'm trying to do is make it more attractive, make it pop out a little bit more so people see it. And then we're going to match up the umbrellas. Well, you see a green one there. That's probably what we're going to redo with the umbrellas.
Just do the umbrellas in green or?
Correct. We're just trying to make the whole place more attractive. It's been non-maintained for maybe 5 or 6 years. Well, wouldn't even say it was maintained to my expectations.
Probably original.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's pretty much original. So I'm just trying to do enhancements slowly across the board. So, we put in flowers and things like that.
These are going to interfere with the sheets rebuild, or the sheets rebuild isn't going to interfere with.
No.
Yeah, there's,
No.
should,
No, in the new drive lane coming in is not going to interfere with us either. I don't know what you call it, the new
Yeah, that's a
15
reroute.
reroute, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, correct. So,
Well, the difficult part here is the pink, because I don't know if we really have any pink colors within the palettes that we typically approve. Our approved palettes. I don't have that pink swap. Do you?
Is it the color thing back there? Do you have it?
Because I don't have it, but you can look in there. I think most of the pink stuff was X'd out. Because I guess the previous board members felt that didn't fit. So the question here is, yeah. I understand what you're trying to do, though. I mean,
just
You
visibility.
see it at Effie's, you see it even at the ice cream place down in Waterloo off of 15,
Yeah,
340.
if anything, when you're driving down 15, it kind of blends into the scenery. So,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's not
trying
a big footprint.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make it gaudy by any means. That's why we're doing the stripes, just to make it look better. If there's a different color, I'm definitely the pink is off of the original pickle. I don't know what you call it, statue that's out there. So that's what I did the T-shirts off of, was the pink that's on the statue. And then I noticed, downtown and Georgetown and other areas, they have the stripes on a lot of their canopies. So I thought the stripes would bring interest. But I'm not, married to the pink by any means, but I like it.
You want to come on up and
Yeah.
what we're looking at here?
Okay.
All right,
So that's it.
on the balance. And same with the one for the families here.
So, yeah.
It's used, it's like that would be like columns, bringing the columns,
Yellow and green.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll go back to the canopy colors to see what closely matches these.
There's the pastel-y,
Yes.
but that's
Yeah.
a little more muted
The
than
settled
you want
hues.
it to be.
Yeah, that's what this is really.
All
Yeah. Tighten down.
Purples and greens and
Like I said, it's not like I spent any major money on getting this design. It's from the canopy company, so if somebody can offer me something I would make more money on. Hey, let's pick one out.
Yeah.
That's it.
these are here to view at any time during the
Okay.
hours that you want to look at the wheels.
Okay, so green, and then we have,
You have the green, you have some of the deeper purple.
okay.
specify it's gonna be one of these colors, and you match one of those colors, we could,
Okay.
Your COA on the photo attached,
Okay.
that can be amended right here, right now to say.
Okay,
you know,
yeah, I can't do this without getting approved from my boss.
Right. You know.
Yeah. So, I'll have to. Everybody's,
Yeah, you have to
So-
come up and look. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, you
yeah.
do still have some pinks, but they are muted. Even a deeper red, if you wanted to get some type of contrast with the green or the yellow, like you said.
I can picture this right now attached.
Can you do that to me for me, please? Yeah, do one of all three, and then she can get an idea. You know. Just take it. I mean, do you guys have an opinion?
I like the yellow and the green. It matches kind of the goes with the pickle.
Yeah.
so do we want to make an amendment to say?
Kind of an amusing place, you know, pickleball. Believe me, I get a lot of people like
Yeah, I
that.
like the yellow and the
Yeah.
green. I even like the deeper reds in the green.
Okay.
Hand me the thing, and I'll make a
But that's my
motion to
preference.
amend.
I mean, typically, if you stand within the color palettes here,
Yeah.
you can usually do any of it. We would like to try, I guess, on the amendment, get some color combination, so we're not doing with.
If we wanted to, we could, Denise and I could work directly with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's several options. We can just have him send us a vendor sheet that matches it, and you won't have to come
Something
back next
close.
month.
Yeah, okay. I make a motion to amend. Let me go back. ZP 2014-0612 with approval from the applicant, that the color scheme will match the Sherwin-Williams historical colors as approved by the town.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion required?
Is there any color on there, or did you actually,
No, as long as it matches these,
any
I
other
mean-
colors on there? Okay.
as long as it matches the colors, we really can't, even if he picks out something really nasty and ugly and stupid, as long as it matches the colors,
Okay.
my personal opinion doesn't count. This, he's got to match.
Okay.
We need to vote.
Okay, no further discussion then? All in favor of the COA with the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No one opposed? Good to go. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir.
You helped us immensely.
Okay, so you texted me the colors? Okay.
Right. And
So-
again, you can come and take a look at these during business hours.
Yes. So email it to you?
Email it to Sharon or Denise and I,
Okay.
and we'll
Okay. Well, everybody.
then we'll match it up, and we'll just say, hey, good to go.
Okay. And
Have
then
fun.
when do we talk about the sign?
When we're done here, then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's move on. Get this meeting to an end. Now to section 5, the updates, town council.
No update as it pertains to ARB.
All right, any questions for Councilman Pat? Nothing from you, Ralph?
Nope.
Nothing from me? So we're good to go. So, we'll move on to Ralph. Do you have any planning commission updates?
From an 11.5-minute meeting, no, we do not.
Okay. Any questions for Ralph? No? Okay, we'll move on then. New business? No new business. Old business? We got the town organization signed. Did you do any more work with Colt, or did you do any work to the ARB task list. I guess one thing I'll comment, I guess I'll add at this point. I think, Denise, I asked you to inquire on whether there was going to be some modification to that one building with the road, if the road was going to come
This is
close.
supposed to talk about that, so they're going around.
So they're going around it, they're not just going to drop down the porch on it?
Correct. So my initial thinking was, if there was a inclination to bring the building down, or support to bring the building down, could the streetscape field adjust? Holly about hit me in the head when I asked her that. So
Yeah, I guess approvals to change design.
yeah, change orders at this point. She's like, "You're kidding, right?" They're like, "Well, can we do it?" She's like, "No." So basically, just east of that house, the sidewalk's going to come flush along the curb. So everywhere else, you're going to have that grassy swath between the back of the curb and the sidewalk. When you get to that building, all the way to corner of Madison, it's going to come out and be closer to the street. So
Is it actually going to take a turn, or is it just the grassy border is adjusted?
the grassy border will become smaller,
Just
and it'll
smaller,
kind of
okay.
gently slope around it. So
Okay.
I don't think it'll do that. So the grass is overgrown there. That house is becoming more problems too. I think the owner right now is Pardo is out of the country. But our goal is by Haymarket Day at least have it addressed. If not, have the windows boarded up, get the grass cut, get the weeds off the house. Just stabilize it better than what it is today.
Yeah, because I noticed the other day the window's broken on it.
Yeah, Vadal's going by. It's kind of the broken window syndrome. Once it starts, then it kind of escalates quickly. So.
Yep. Okay, that's the only question I have for that. Pull my task list out here. Updates. The task list, I'm actually sitting on it a little bit for, not the task list, the town signs. Mainly, I'm going to kind of let the new council come in and get a little bit of adjusting before I lay a packet on them saying, okay, here's what we put together. Other than that, we do have the ARB design guidelines.
Correct.
Those are up since the overlay was shot down by council. I don't know what needs to be done to the design guidelines now, besides maybe putting in some verbiage for a commercial fence. Did you have anything that you wanted to incorporate in?
But one of the things we had in the ordinance was you had to approve something within 14 days,
Yeah.
unless the applicant agreed to defer to a month. So, I think there's some basic ones we probably need to take care of. There is money in the budget to go ahead and address our zoning ordinance, because we do a comprehensive rewrite. We would think that would deal with the chapter. Now, the design guidelines themselves, if you want to go ahead and add a standard or recommend a standard for commercial fencing, that's something you can do independent of the zoning ordinance rewrite. So, does that make sense what I'm saying? So,
Okay, because that's the only reason that's kind of been on the task list, is making sure that we keep track of things that have come up, since I expected we would have to rewrite it for the zone change and the
correct.
overlay change, but that didn't occur, so.
It's probably worth taking some time, maybe once you, I think, are we appointing new ARB members?
I'm sure.
Once you get the new, well, you guys are still on your terms, but if they add additional folks, anyone you get, was that while you're gone? Okay.
Yeah.
I would be council liaison without no longer on council.
Oh, that's right.
July 1.
Okay.
Well, and all of us serve at the pleasure of the board anyway, unlike
Yeah.
the planning commission, so they can do whatever they want to.
Okay, well, let's hope we'll, anyway, I keep forgetting this is recorded. Anyway, once we get the new group together, maybe we'll sit down one day and just kind of go through, and we could all just go through the document and see if we run into anything that needs to be addressed or revised. So, I do have a couple updates for you, Mr. Chairman, once you get through your agenda.
Yeah, well, that was pretty much it. Those are the only two items that are on the task list at this point. much it. Now, you had some,
We're getting busy. So, moving west to east sheets, they have resubmitted. I'm supposed to be meeting with them tomorrow to talk about a comprehensive sign package for the sites. They will be coming back to you with their architectural drawings this summer. Basically what you saw before. There's a little bit of a disconnect. They're still showing the red canopy. Remember you had talked about doing more of a solid canopy?
Yeah, but I thought the color was okay, but some of the design, anyway.
Well, I think before they still wanted to do the red canvas, and you had talked about maybe an alternate material. So what I simply mentioned to them was there's some disconnect in the materials you're showing with your sign plan versus what the ARB was looking at before. So we'll resolve that when we come back to you.
Yeah.
Chief-
and they already have it in some of the previous buildings that they've done, at least what we kind of agreed upon. And it was a solid backing.
So what they're basically, a lot of the signage that's out there today is not accounted for in our sign ordinance. So what they're proposing is a zoning text amendment that would allow fuel stations to submit a comprehensive sign package by special use permit. And so we're fleshing out right now all the signs that they want. One of the things I mentioned to them, I call them bandit signs. Those signs that show up on the wheel stops. They kind of got them everywhere, hanging everywhere. Just said, hey, that's kind of out of control. We probably need to address that with the new sign package. And they sent me a schematic, which basically made it worse. So I was thinking, maybe you don't want to do that anymore. They came back with, well, we'd like to do it in more.
In more, yeah.
So anyway, it'll be coming back to you at some point. The Haymarket ice rink came back in. They've redesigned. They've added the second sheet of ice, which I think I told you about before. They're coming in with their final site plan. They've changed the entrances. They've abandoned the second-story addition on the front side. So for you who've been here long enough, you may have remembered some of that stuff. So they'll be coming back in with a new architectural design for the exterior. But it's a better layout and a better plan. They're putting the chillers up on top, putting some sound buffers around it, doing a more formal entrance at the east end, closer to the St. Paul's Church side. Right now, they kind of have that choke point in that one corner where everyone tries to get into the ice rink. They'll have a nice formal portico and entrance on the far end, so that'll be coming back to you soon. Have gotten some calls about the Durham property behind it, and Mr. Durham is looking at submitting a site plan and converting that burnt building to likely a sportsplex use. There's a gymnastics studio that wanted to go in there. Is still under the purview of the historic district, so you may get to review some of that stuff as well. Chick-fil-A you already reviewed. Winterham is a potential tenant, a cigar bar. They're doing a lot of interior renovations, but the exterior or the outside should be brought up to speed hopefully pretty soon. Some of the paint, some of their work is starting to fall apart. Right across the street, Haymarket Square. I think you guys looked at the initial concept.
We did.
Spoken with their engineer. They're supposed to be submitting next week. I've asked several times if they look at, in the interim, bringing down some of those buildings. My goal, like some of the other houses, is to have them do something with the site before Haymarket Day. Even if their plans are in review, just get some of those buildings down or
Wow, okay. And the only one building they're going to save is the one on the corner there.
correct, the one whose roof blew off during a couple storms ago. So those buildings have to come to you for a demolition. It's quite extensive what they're doing. They're going to change the character of that corner. What I would suggest is that the ARB recommend what's the term for it? It's like an inventory, like an architectural survey of each one of the buildings. You have someone who can describe the detail of it, take photographs of it, just document it, so that if we ever in the future want to say, well, hey, how did Haymarket look at one point? You can look at the architecture of that and base it. Thankfully, a lot of these new buildings are going to keep some of the themes: the board, the stone, the wood siding, the backboard, and the like. So, same with the other one down there. It may be like the shack now, but it's part of the town's architecture. So, that hopefully we'll see the site plan pretty soon, and got a lot of calls about restaurants that want to go in there. Smaller footprint businesses, a wine bar wanted to go in there. Which brings up the next site.
The firehouse, yeah. But,
I haven't heard anything from them. There's a bunch of cable guys that are leaving some of their equipment out behind the Masonic Lodge. But haven't heard higher Edgewater from them, and they're gonna have to do some work on that too. Some of the windows are getting broken, some of the paint's coming off. We're getting a dog groomer in the old post office, the barn, so hopefully we'll have that fully leased and we'll take down some of their signage. We at one point thought a Goddard School was coming in next to the animal hospital on the east end of town. They've put those plans on hold while they look at another site. So the Haymarket Baptist Church had their site plan approved to do parking lot paving and do a vestibule addition on the front. We're thinking that they're going to move simultaneously with some of the work that's going on streetscape right now. Streetscape is a mess. It's a problem. It's going to be pain before gain. But that goal is to have that project done before Haymarket Day. So the more you get questions about it, just let them know. It's going to be curb, gutter, sidewalks, street furniture, lights, street trees. It'll look quite nice, but it's going to take us a while to get there. A lot of utilities have been showing up where they're not supposed to be. So they're having to do a lot of change orders to get the contractors out. The Secret Squirrel line, the fiber light line was where it wasn't supposed to be, so they're out there moving that line as well. So a lot of stuff happening. The bridge out here in North Carolina is supposed to close now for 18 months instead of 12. That's supposed to begin this summer. We're going to work with some of these businesses here to get them some good signage on the corner temporarily while that's going through. I think it's going to change the traffic pattern.
Just a tad.
Just a tad.
Yeah, it's possible for me to get out.
And like, what do you mean by summer?
I'm thinking July or August, yeah.
After you move, yeah.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
So after you move, they'll come on in and start.
So, and then also we're getting some interest in the Haymarket or the fairgrounds again. So you may be seeing some plans in the future for the fairgrounds. So the hospital kicking off and the housing market coming back, we're starting to see renewed interest in the town. So they did allocate $250,000. The council did for the master plan. If you remember, there was 3 layout options. And the question was, well, which one do we adopt? And that wasn't the purpose. The purpose was to take elements of each layout that you liked, and when we went into engineering, have the engineers incorporate all those elements into it. You're expected to review that plan as well. So once we get the engineered plan underway, we will bring it to the ARB to have you look at it and compare it to the illustratives that we did and make sure it's the preferred elements that we want. So.
And it's strictly the parking, right? It's not enhancement of the building or anything like that.
That's the first phase. I think they're wanting to break it up. First do the stormwater, the paving, do the landscaping, do some of the impervious surface. Remember, there's 3 different options for impervious surface. Do we put a gazebo out there? Do we make it more of a square? Those are the types of decisions we'll need your feedback on. And then I think their anticipated later phase will actually be the facades.
Anybody express any interest in the old back door?
I've gotten multiple calls about it, but it's just apparently the terms that they're being asked to agree to, most folks are not agreeable to it. So last time I heard, another restaurant was trying to go in there and do a patio area up on top. So,
Well, it at one time was.
what's that? There was a restaurant back in the day.
A long time ago. Yeah.
So,
Okay. Any questions for Rashawn?
okay.
You good?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem. Well, yes. Thank you very much for serving.
Motion to adjourn.